This is Newsroom. Hello and welcome from Johannesburg here in South Africa. I'm Eben Jansen. The show is live. It's broadcast from our studios in Auckland Park. Now, do you know what colour accounting is? If you don't, Katrine Malanda will give us a quick update and an idea about what this is all about.
Well, thank you, Eben. Yes, close to 3,000 learners in the Western Cape benefit from a new approach to teaching accounting. Colour accounting, Accounting Comes Alive, is a new graphical way to explain accounting using diagrams, colour and plain language. It was developed to address the difficulty that many people face when trying to understand accounting. The whole idea is to free South Africans from the fear and uncertainty caused by financial illiteracy. Accounting teacher Colleen Hodge and Erikka Motang, a founder of the leader of a human skills development company, Eliel Consulting and Coaching, are in studio with us today. Colleen, Erikka, welcome to Newsroom.
Thank you.
Colleen, I want to start off with you. Just take us to the classroom. You are an accounting teacher. What are the children faced with today with learning accounting, and what are their major struggles?
I would say that the most difficult thing for the learner is the language, the jargon, as we would call it, the accounting jargon, and especially for learners that are not learning it in their mother tongue. So that's one big challenge. The other challenge is that it is difficult for the children or the learners to see the whole financial story and see the bigger picture, because they can't relate it to their lives. So very often it becomes boring and repetitive, and you need to be having to work very hard at undoing that issue of the children not understanding the bigger picture.
Now, Erikka, Accounting Comes Alive. How does it, in simple terms, address these issues?
So instead of just learning numbers, you can actually do accounting.
Accounting Comes Alive. Mm-hmm. You guys brought examples of the work. Can you guide us through it? Tell us more about what you brought into studio today and how this will even teach me accounting.
So every person, every child or learner would get a pack, and it really is lovely because at the back it says set yourself free, because many people find it challenging and nerve-wracking. So you set yourself free, and every person would get a pack with we call this the basis framework, and their storyboard. And in the storyboard are little buckets which the children have to be making.
Hold it up there, so. And there you've got it set up right there.
So they will get a flat bucket, which they then have to make, which is very exciting. And they have to make the buckets, and they'll also have a little book with tickets that they will be using when they're actually doing the transactions.
Okay, so just explain to us how this is differing the old and the new way. What are the major differences as we're seeing it here in front of us?
It helps enhance how we are teaching accounting. It differs because now instead of just using columns, we now use blocks. So it's 5 boxes and it's 3 different colors. So every color has a different meaning. Like you see yellow, it's sources of funds. It's green, it's uses of funds. It's purple, it means profit. So because of these different colors, and then even when you're talking about different accounting concepts, one is able to link them to different colors, which means that it stays in the learner's mind. They'll always remember if it's green, assets and expenses. If it's yellow, it's liabilities and it's equity. And if it's purple, it's profit. So they are able to visualize the concepts as well. And with the little buckets and the storyboard, instead of just learning, they actually do transactions.
Now, thousands of learners have been benefiting from this in the Western Cape. What are the plans of taking this elsewhere in the country?
Okay, that's why we're here. In the Western Cape, the government there, they've adopted to the Department of Education to use this. So there's a number of teachers who have been trained as color accounting teachers, and they also use the same concept in class, not inclusively, but to enhance the training. And we are here to say, look, of course, with our department, we still have challenges with finances and all that. We're here to say there's another way that can help.
It's also something that can be used worldwide. How do we compare with the world when it comes to accounting?
In South Africa, we are taught accounting in schools. Many countries don't offer accounting at school, and that's one benefit in South Africa. So even if you're doing accounting at school and you don't want to follow a career in accounting, you're coming out of school with a huge skill. And this color accounting enables the learner to really understand how business works, because the whole basis is on a business story.
Now, it's all quite simple, but why are we faced with this challenge of the majority of people being financial illiterate?
Okay. First of all, learning finances is fearful. Where most people are terrified to learn. If you say numbers, we don't want to learn with it. Unfortunately, we still have to learn. We still need to learn because we play with finances, we use money all the time. So it's how it is taught that's intimidating. It's the fear also that people do not like it. So that's why people are not really encouraged to do that. So it's through color accounting that people get actually the sense that it's not that terrible. And accounting is not just for learners, it's for everyday life as well.
Would you like to add anything to that?
I also think that the learners are able to be involved in the work. So from that point of view, they take that skill out of the classroom, and many of the learners that I have taught, their parents have run little businesses and they've come back and really shown how it's benefited them.
And just lastly, costs involved in this program and how can people become involved?
Mm-hmm. Okay, because we use it for different markets, so there is different costs involved. Because we use it for private as finance for non-financial managers, we also use it for SMMEs. So the cost differs completely different to the schooling ones, which also Colleen will speak more on that.
Mm-hmm. So in the Western Cape, the Marshall Foundation have actually sponsored the learners. Peter Frampton, the CEO of Color Accounting, has adopted the school side for his give back. So the funding has to come from NGOs because although the Department of Education have endorsed the program, obviously they can't fund it. So the idea would be to find more funding to put it out there because we're working a lot with disadvantaged schools in the Western Cape, not all, but a lot are. And for example, we've rolled it out at Hilton, and obviously they would pay more, but they have really found that their numbers are increasing because of the enjoyment of playing the game.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Newsroom. It's Colleen Hodge and Erikka Motang talking about color accounting. Accounting comes alive, making it easier for all of us to understand accounting.
And that's where we wrap it today. Newsroom is broadcast to you live from our studios here in Auckland Park in Johannesburg.